Welcome, everybody, back to The Hole in the World, an actual play set in the world of the Invisible Sun RPG by Monte Cook Games. I am, as always, your host with the most, your producer slash GM slash regular go-get-em guy. I'm Zach. Otherwise known as Great Zamino, and I use he/him pronouns. And I am joined once again for this prologue of a series of side scenes with one of my four lovely cast members. Say hi, Marcy.
It's me. I'm Marcy. It's just me tonight.
Oh.
I'm also known as Experimental Madness. I'm playing Gavriel Kazan, the iconoclastic ardent apostate who hosts a choir. And let's see if I can carry a whole episode on my own.
Hey, I believe in you. I know you can. Guys, just to kind of catch you guys up, this is actually kind of, the recording for this is happening a little bit differently because of varying time schedules. But if you are watching this should be the fourth in a series of side scenes, which has been preceded by Hopper slash Ochre's Twigs side scenes, which was a two-parter. And this represents the final side scene before we venture back into the season proper for The Hole in the World. And so basically, all of these side scenes are chronicling what our players got up to their first day back in Satyrine, from this long journey that they had gone into the Gold Sun, and then in order to disrupt the plans of the Vesper team. And so with that in mind, Gavriel, tell us, what is the first thing you do when you arrive back at Satyrine from the Gold Sun?
Yeah, I think she's gonna make her way to her home base.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of unfinished, I would say, business or resistance cells that might be operating without her. And I think she needs to check in on them.
So, when you're checking on your resistance network, what does this look like? Where are you going? What are you trying to find out?
Specifically, I would like to talk to Arox, who is the angel that I did sort of leave as my second in command while I was going to be out of the city. I know that she has access to my house. No guarantees that she's actually there. I don't actually think I have a way to communicate with her, like, mobilely. I think I would just have to go and check the most logical place that she would be.
Okay. So I think the most logical place, I think that I am going to turn a card. I have drawn a card, which is the Messiah. It is Vision, Swans, Blades, and Water. It means change, salvation, and familial love. She brings salvation, but at the cost of changing everything in your existence. So this is the defender of Vision, Swans, Blades, and Water, which means that you are going to get +1, or basically this is a 7 on the card, but what this means is, I think that you are looking for this angelic figure, and you find, tell me, you have been kind of setting up, Arox is your second in command, and I think the thing that is disconcerting to you is you spy someone waiting for you in your apartments, essentially, and kind of in your home base. And it is this kind of slight figure, and a feminine figure. And what are you doing as kind of any kind of precaution? What does this kind of look like as you kind of prepare to encounter this person?
Well, how much can I see of her? Is it familiar at all, or is it jarring to me?
I think it's jarring to you because
guns out.
Yeah. But the thing is that as you kind of get closer and creep closer, you notice that she seems to be rubbing something between her fingers. And so what is happening, and as you kind of like look, there's a shock of blue, and you realize that she's rubbing a blue pinion feather between her fingers and looking around cautiously.
I'm gonna sheath my rifle, because the pinion feather means that they're a part of my movement.
Okay. And I think, yeah, are you going to announce yourself, or are you just going to surprise her?
No, I'm going to walk into the room. What is she in like the foyer, for lack of a better word?
Yeah, I think you get this.
Not that really you have when it's a rundown, like it's a broken apartment from the wars.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, basically, you just kind of, I think you kind of sidle up, and she looks and kind of sees you, and then looks back, and then looks, and just, frightened, like just gives her a fright. At which point she kind of looks at you, and you realize that she is remarkably kind of, you are half expecting some kind of like powerful figure, or perhaps somebody who's like kind of managed to get their way into the ruined expanse. Would have to be a fairly formidable person. This is just a relatively average woman. I say average is essentially she doesn't look like a Vizsla. She doesn't have any kind of magic pouring off of her. She's not, like a Lacune or an Elderbrand or anything more exotic. She just looks like a normal person. At which point she says, are you Gavriel?
By far the more interesting question is, who are you and how did you get out here?
And she does a little curtsy, and she says, Agat, I'm a member of the Dodo Cell. And she starts waving the feather in front of her as though it's like an ID.
All right, Agat, you can put that down now. I am Gavriel.
I am Agat. I already said that. I was told to come in case bad things have happened, and bad things have happened in the event that Erox was taken prisoner.
Then you had better give me a full report. Start from the beginning.
Well, Erox, as you know, has been gathering the cells, essentially kind of communicating with them. I have to say, it's really kind of disorganized, and I understand that she's an anarchist, but really, we really could benefit from...
Why don't we stick to where Erox is and what happened?
The Pinion Court. She's to be tried by the Pinion Court.
Tried?
Yes. In the Undersling. Destruction, the Garant there, it wants to make an example out of her. Or them, rather, I apologize. And they are going to be sentenced after their wings are ripped from their back, and they're going to be put into Neverlight Prison.
Do you have any other information as to why such an extreme punishment is being meted out?
Apparently she blew up a bank. Yeah, as she kind of like looks at you, and I think you kind of reflexively snicker. I think they told me to try to find you in the event that something like that would happen.
Well, here I am. So I guess you're taking me to the Undersling.
Yes. I don't know how much I can help. I'm a non.
And yet you found your way to the ruined expanse all on your own?
It's kind of strange. I'm a non, but also things tend to not notice me. So yeah, I've been always able to kind of move relatively quietly here, and I think I mean, it's terrifying out here, but nothing has found me. And I think that's why they sent me to you.
I would very much like to know a little bit more about that talent, but why don't you tell me on the way?
Yeah, absolutely. And
I'm gonna gather up some more ammunition from my stores and basically sling the rifle back over my shoulder and like heading out. Like I don't need. This is more important than me like regathering anything else that I need in my house.
yeah, absolutely. And she is kind of like animatedly talking to you as you are kind of wandering back from the ruined expanse. And you notice that while you are in Agat's presence, it is almost like there is you've had some close calls while traveling through the ruined expanse for sure, but the thing that strikes you is that you see that there are things kind of off in the distance, and she is talking animatedly and at a normal speaking voice, and nothing kind of like quiets or starts approaching. You don't feel like the hairs on the back of your neck rise as like you're traversing this terrain like you normally would. Instead, she is just talking animatedly about kind of the dodo cell and kind of where she's come from, and just says, yeah, I joined the movement once it was kind of spoken about. Things have been getting strange around here, if that makes any sense, and I was going to try to go to a changeries to maybe give myself some sort of defensive edge, but I found instead this man at the Celestial Bazaar, a man named Luster, and he gave me a blue pinion, but also said the best defense was a good offense, and I bought a gun. I don't even know where I put it, but I bought a gun, and from him, it shoots ghosts.
Zach, how old does Agat seem?
Agat seems maybe on the on like what was it? I'd say 25 going on 18.
Oh my God.
Just very kind of animated, but also I think probably just excited to be able to talk to somebody as cool as Gavriel.
So she's technically a little bit older than Gav, and yet somehow this is my child now?
Pretty much. Yeah, just like, I think there's just like this kind of like almost like delightful chagrin as she's just like, yeah, so I bought a gun. It shoots ghosts. I'm not sure how it works. I've never messed with anything like that before. But then I was somebody spotted me wearing a blue pinion, and they were like, meet us at Zeros at 800 hours, and I thought they meant maybe 8 p.m., so I showed up then, and there was a person with wings that was Aerox, and they said, congratulations, you have joined the dodo cell. And I don't know what that means, but they found out that it's easy for me to move around, and there's someone called the Mask. I don't know what's happening, but I feel important, but I also feel like I'm doing something also important, but I'm not really important, and this is where before you know it, you are in the kind of like the decay of the undersling.
Take a deep breath. But also let it out. Please don't choke. You're okay. You're doing fine. And Erox was right to recruit you. We could use somebody with your specific talents.
You think so?
We just walked through the ruined expanse without anyone noticing us. And no hate cysts exploding. That's never happened.
They did say that it seemed like I had a talent, but I've never really had any talent like it before. But she partnered me with a pair of Vizsla, and they, she said that they said that I should. Well, the Vizsla said that I should deliver the message because I was the most likely to make it out of the ruined expanse unscathed.
And so you were.
So
welcome.
Thank you. But I'll be honest. I mean, I just noticed that things feel bad and something is wrong, and I'm just, I just kind of, I feel like the only thing I can do is deliver messages, but it really also feels like it's the most important thing for me to do.
I think you can do a lot more than just deliver messages, God.
Okay.
And once we settle things up with Erax, we will figure out a better use of your skills.
Okay. And she starts kind of like leading you in the direction kind of like through these kind of decaying buildings, and as you've kind of seen from the Undersling, there is a basically just a preponderance of decay and kind of crumbling what look like they should be foreclosed buildings, but you also see them right next to basically kind of like brand new developments and things that almost go up as quickly as the Undersling's kind of natural aura of the red kind of brings it down. And so it is a neighborhood that is always changing. It is always in flux. It is always being rebuilt and being destroyed. But there is one place that you realize kind of has stood this decay. And you know it from a distance the moment you see kind of in the center this kind of piazza, kind of a raised platform. And you know for a fact that it is the Pinion Court by virtue of the fact that the entire surface of the cobblestones within the piazza are covered in feathers that have been discarded and unmoved from the... Even though you feel a breeze kind of passing through the kind of cobblestones of the piazza, you just see that there is no wind that seems to pick up these feathers and blow them. Once they fall...
Can you remind... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you remind me about the Pinion Court?
So the Pinion Court, you would have heard this. This would have been particularly interesting to you, which is the Pinion Court is for angels that have basically lost their way or defied some vow. And it is at this place that for those angels, they are tried by a jury of their peers, or by rather a jury of kind of like the residents of the Undersling, or by the Gerents kind of hand-picked representatives. Really, that's kind of like the key thing, is it's the Gerents' justice, essentially. And when the angels are tried and found wanting, or have broken their oaths, you know for a fact that an executioner rips the wings from their back, and then they are sent either to further condemnation and death, or they are stored with the most serious criminals of the Neverlight prison.
Okay.
Yeah. So called because once you enter that prison, you never see the light of day again.
Well, aptly named.
Yeah, exactly.
So creative.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hey, look, sometimes, you know, you define, you name a place according to its function, you know? Sometimes it's not, no necessary proper noun there. Anyway, so you can see kind of like the entry to this Pinion Court, and you know for a fact that Agat has said that the execution or the condemnation is set to be carried out today. She seems like she's been waiting for you in the ruined expanse for some time. And at this point, you see that there is a crowd that has gathered, the residents of the Undersling, that are kind of looking out and kind of witnessing the spectacle. A lot of these people have kind of come from, and some people are kind of like watching cautiously from windows adjoining the piazza. It is a spectacle that they are used to seeing, but some people are fairly timid and watching from windows, and you get the sense that it is something that is not within their control to host. So there seems to be on this raised platform, bound in chains, in these kind of heavy irons, which no doubt are actually kind of imbued with some manner of enchantment, because otherwise Erox would have broken through them. You see them, the Angel of Anarchy, bound basically to the floor of this piazza, bound tight, as a figure is kind of presiding over the kind of condemnation. And I think that you hear Agat say, "That's the Garant." And she points to a looming figure behind Erox and says, "And that is the Angel of Chains." And you see, with wings made of kind of flying lengths of chains, an armored figure wearing a hood with basically just no face that is perceivable. It is a humanoid figure, and it seems to float very gently off the ground, its lengths of chains kind of rattling and scraping the cobbles of the piazza. And it is wielding what looks to be a large flensing knife that it is kind of running down one hand, testing the edge. What do you do?
This doesn't seem to be, in terms of like what Gav is looking at, this does not look like a trial so much as this is just straight up execution time.
Yeah, you get that sense that the figure that is kind of saying, "For the destruction visited upon the Marquis Quarter, and for additional acts of vandalism and impropriety," at which point you hear Erox defiantly from under the chains just laugh and cackle at impropriety. And you say, "For this crime, we will mete out the justice of the Pinion Court and rend the wings from their back." And you hear a murmur kind of going up in the crowd. And I think you hear Erox say, "Why don't you come down to my level? Let's have a discussion about it. Maybe I could change your mind." And you just see them struggling, their shoulders, their wings, all three sets of them, kind of like trying to bulge under the chains, and then you see the chains bite into their back. And at which point you realize that the master, the Archangel of Change, is moving forward. Yeah.
Oh man, this is so stupid.
Hey, I'm down for it. I want to hear it.
I'm gonna sort of push past a lot of the onlookers and just shout, "Objection!"
At which point, I think the Garant that is presiding looks and says, "Pardon?
Objection!"
There's no objections in the Pinion Court.
That this is not a court.
And there's a murmur that goes up in the crowd.
It is my understanding that to mete out punishment in this court, it must be because an angel has defied their purpose.
At which point you just hear Erox go, "Yeah!" And the murmur goes up throughout the court, and you realize the Archangel has stopped, but its kind of position has slowly, almost imperceptibly pivoted to take you in.
And show me where we're having a trial of this angel's peers. From what I can see, I see only Visley and other citizens of the Undersling.
You see in kind of like the jury box just a number of kind of like relatively mundane looking people kind of looking on at this kind of divine angelic figure, this alien creature to them. And they're also looking very uncomfortable. A couple of them will look a little bit smarmier, but then also kind of look a little chagrined at you pointing this out. And there's a further more murmurs going up in the crowd. And you just I think that that murmur is starting to grow louder, and the Garant kind of silences it by raising a hand and says, well, then who are you that you would make such a gross estimation of what this court represents?
I'm the full jury. And I just sort of like hammer on the halo that starts spinning a little bit faster.
And the Garant looks at this and says, are you willing to offer your own wings for the Pinion Court?
The wings that I have would take you quite a long time to cut off. But you're trying... I ask again, what's the punishment for an Angel of Anarchy? It seems to me that destruction in the Marquis district seems exactly what an Angel of Anarchy should be doing.
You just start hearing kind of like a murmur of, actually, I'm going to turn a card for this. We're going to see how it's going. See how the jury responds.
Yes, let's Ace Attorney then.
Yeah. The rat. Mysteries, rats, mirrors and stone. Survival, resistance, shadows, concealment. Yeah. Oh yeah. At which point you're just like kind of you hear the rat can be anywhere or anyone. At which point you just hear there's a murmur kind of like almost traveling through the through kind of like the assembled crowds. Oh yeah, that's right. That's that's true. Yeah, that sounds right to me. And then there's somebody kind of like in the jury box like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. And the Garant, sensing kind of like the torrent of the crowd, or the tides kind of shifting within the discussion, just no, regardless of whether or not they represent anarchy, well, first off, it's a gross act of betrayal for any angel to behave so erratically and to attack someone and visit physical violence upon any of Satyrine, first off. Second off, there's just the matter of property damage to our seat of governance.
And that's enough to strip an angel of its wings?
At a minimum. And
is it? Because I was led to believe that punishment was only for angels that had given up their purpose. What do you expect an Angel of Anarchy to do?
And they're just like, oh yeah, that's a really good point. They're just like kind of like the murmur of agreement is just that, look here. The Garant is really getting a sense, you get the sense that the Garant is losing the crowd. And people are starting to open their windows. And just, look here. Anarchy is not a sustainable means of government in any case.
That seems irrelevant to the purpose of this angel, and therefore is irrelevant to the opinion of this court.
And you just...
If the Pinion Court is judging angels for being angels,
yeah,
then they have done nothing wrong.
You just hear from one of the open windows in the piazza, yeah, that's right. And just like there are people just, at which point there's a small, I think you realize that Agat has imperceptibly to you kind of moved into the center of the crowd and looks and just says, let them go. Let them go. And
oh, this girl's got the spirit. I love her.
And she just starts kind of raising her hands like, come on, everybody. Yeah, like, let them go. Let them go. And like this small, like slow chant starts to build. And the Garant is very much kind of realizes that he is losing the crowd and also control of the situation. At which point he says, then maybe this is a matter for the thaw! And at which point everybody kind of like quiets. Very like, but I think, there is that threat of the police, of kind of like the governing body, the enforcement arm kind of moving through. And you realize that there is a lull, a kind of tilt in the crowd now after this perceived threat. What do you do?
I'm unfazed by the threat of the police.
Yeah, absolutely.
I start moving like even closer to this raised dais that Arox and the Garant are standing on.
Mm-hmm.
The Garant is not an angel, from what I can tell. Yes?
No, not at all. In fact, the moment you kind of like move closer to the dais, you realize that the Garant, for all intents and purposes, looks like an 18-year-old boy.
Exactly who are you to be judging the actions of any angel in the Pinion Court?
I am the Garant of this Undersling, the most formidable part of Satyrine. We have been rebuilt, we have changed, we have been decayed, and we have been torn asunder, but we've rebuilt. We cannot stand things that do not serve their purpose any longer, or who would damage a neighborhood already gripped by decay.
In that case, you and I are in total agreement. Get off the dais.
And he looks at you, and he kind of braces himself into a fighting stance and says, "You can come make me."
I wouldn't do that if I were you, son.
At which point, he also yells back and says, "Executioner!" And you see the Archangel snap back to its current task and begin moving towards Arox.
I'm pointing at the Archangel. You are the only other angel here that I can see. Would you condemn an angel of anarchy for pursuing anarchy?
You hear Athariel in your chest say, "I do not know this one, but this is potentially a advantageous strategy. I'm gonna turn a card. I'm gonna see how far along our angel is. The Imperator."
Oh, Jesus.
The sovereign of vision, swans, blades, and water. So this is a sovereign. It is a 9. You have rolled the highest. You have picked the highest card. He shall lead us through the gates. The storm of war cannot harm us if we follow his command.
Wow.
And you realize that you see the Garant bracing, and you see the Archangel move forward, lift the flensing blade, and I think, what are you thinking in this split second?
Well, I had called out to that Archangel, hopefully to appeal to both their nature and their understanding of another angel's nature, that I'm really hoping they will stop for just a second to listen to me.
Yeah, I think they raise the blade, and I think kind of like, I will say then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk that back a little bit. It is, you have a moment to kind of convince this creature. I had an outcome in mind, but I want to hear what you have to say. At the same time, as you know, Agat has been kind of watching spellbound in the crowd. You notice a couple of things, especially with that card pull. You notice that there are other kind of figures that are kind of moving from the back to the front, and you spot a kind of a hit of blue in that really kind of matches the color of Agat's pinion. And you see two figures kind of moving on either side. Either kind of of the perimeter of the crowd.
Okay, perfect.
So what do you say in this moment now that you have the Archangel's attention?
If you are an angel of justice, or I'm not, because like I know that it's an angel of execution because you've told me, but I'm not sure that Gav is fully aware.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is not justice. You would be executing a fellow angel for no reason at all, and you would be damning yourself, defying your own purpose.
And you, I think, hear something, like something grinding underneath the hood of this angel. And you sense that something it has broken or is intending to break. And I think at this point, the Garant, stops kind of like this attack stance and moves instead to kind of like look at the angel and says, I have commanded you to execute your duty. Do so now. And the angel raises the blade.
I'm going to say as the Garant's talking, I'm casting Curse of Feathers.
Okay. God, I love that. Yeah, I'm going to turn one more card. I'm going to say that you have, that honestly, if you get higher than a 3 or a 4 on this, on the card, it's going to succeed. All right. The Empty Gallows.
Oh my God!
Rescue, salvation, solution, favorable judgment, and escape. Their terrible appointed hour comes and goes. And you watch, and it's basically there is a kind of black cat at the front of this art card, in front of a gallows with a noose through it that's empty, but at the same time it's holding in its teeth a clock. Basically a clock that has moved past high noon. And you realize that essentially I think you sense the angle of the blade as it's beginning to come down, and it looks as though it is bound for one of the wings, and will cut through, and then you hear a choke, a cough, as feathers begin pouring out of the mouth of the Garant, and you once again hear something kind of break and tilt inside of the master, the Angel of Chain, the Archangel of Chains, and instead that blade veers, and it slices through a chain length.
Oh yeah, now it's a party.
At which point, you just hear the Garant like get to his knees and says, "Stop! I command!" and just begins kind of vomiting forth all of these feathers of various types and designs. And I think to the effect that of what you said, Arox immediately rises up, stretches their wings, and says, "Hell yeah, it's a party!" And you just see suddenly you see a number of kind of Garant kind of guardsmen rush to the Garant's aid and begin trying to fend off attackers as the mob kind of surges forward to pull the Garant of the neighborhood into kind of like the anarchy and the violence and the craziness of it. And then that's when you see those figures on the perimeter and one in the jury box begin casting spells and beginning to stun the crowd. At which point, Agat moves to you and says, "You might want to cover your eyes for this next part." And she dutifully kind of closes her eyes and puts her ears to her hands to her ears.
I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah. The magical equivalent of a blast of flare of light kind of goes off on the dais. You begin seeing Arox moving through and literally picking up and flying up with some of these guards of the Garant and tossing them to one side. You also see these Vizsla beginning to usher people out and beginning to kind of usher them away, while at the same time others are kind of fending off the Garant's kind of personal guard. And
I would love to take this opportunity to basically make sure the Garant doesn't get away.
Yeah.
I want to take him back with me to my house.
And at which point, I think you are going up to the dais to grab this Garrett. And that's when just a tall 8-9 foot figure lands in front of you with 6 wings outstretched to one side, looking as if to attack, and then stops as they look at you and say, well, where the hell did you come from?
What?
Yeah, Arox, like, no, looks at you, like, Arox has landed. And
oh my god, for a second my brain was like, I thought this was the Executioner Angel.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
No. The Executioner Angel is kind of, you realize has kind of stood aside and stood back and is now kind of watching.
Not my circus, not my monkey.
Yeah, exactly. Just fading into the background, Homer Simpson style.
Oh yeah, in that case, Gav is very much like, I got your message. Seems like it was right on time.
Hi! And you just see Agat kind of waving from behind you, at which point Arox is just kind of like, I think tilts their head looking at Agat.
She's very enthusiastic.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I'm thinking chaos? And
I'm thinking chaos, and I'm thinking we take this one, and I'm just going to pull back the Garen's head, back for a little chat.
Ooh, I like that. And they begin kind of handling the Garrett, and they look at you and say, so shall I meet you back? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you watch as the Garrett just struggling to breathe, struggling to say anything. No, and just takes off and launches Harrier style into...
I'll lift the curse when I get back.
Yeah, into the sky. And you see a panoply of bright leaf-feathered wings take off. And the piles of vomited feathers that the Garrett has left behind, they do not move, even though the wind and the beat of those wings would push them.
I am going to pull a feather from my hair and, before leaving this chaotic scene, hand it to the Archangel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that it reaches forward almost kind of like this kind of suit of armor that is rusted at the joints. It seems almost like to mechanic, like, and seems to consider the feather. And at which point, you hear Agat, you see her put her fingers to either side of her lips, and you hear her do a Bronx whistle, as all of the, as seemingly those kind of attacking Vizsla begin moving and covering a retreat. And she looks at you and says, I can meet you where I found you, or we can go back to Zeros. That's usually where we go.
For this, we're coming back to mine.
And
I would rather not bring our guest to Zeros.
And she trills a follow-up whistle a couple of times, and you see her and the rest of the dodos split. You see them split off.
Okay.
All right. So I think for the sake of time, we're going to cut back to the ruined expanse. You have found your way back to the headquarters. Arox is waiting for you. I don't think the dodos would have arrived as soon, just because they probably have to take more kind of circuitous ways.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think Arox has kind of just gently I say gently, but is kind of like roughly gripping the Garrett, and just kind of leans down to beside him and says, oh, this is my favorite part.
As I enter, I'm going to lift the curse from him, lest he fucking die. And Arox is holding him pretty securely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we don't need any more further restraints, I don't think, at this time.
Yeah. And he's looking at you, and he says, you have no idea what you have done. They will find you. They will kill you. They will...
Perfect. Thank you so much for volunteering that. Let's start there. Who are they? And who appointed the boy?
Look, I might look young, but I have been a Garant for 30 years. All right?
Congratulations. You've been doing a great job.
The thaw. Sometimes the thaw just dictates something, and I have to do it.
Do you?
Well, also, I think it helps to be proactive when somebody's just destroying buildings, and you just see
and if we were in a court of, I suppose, regular law, I couldn't fault you for the property damage, but that was the Pinion Court, my friend. And my friend, this Angel of Anarchy, did not do anything warranting the Pinion Court's displeasure.
You think that there is room for anarchy in Satyrine? Think again. There is no way any such action would be tolerated, never allowed. Why on earth would anybody think otherwise?
Seems to me, once I stated the opinion of my court, many agreed.
Look, this whole city is recovering from a war. There had to be corners that were cut. There had to be other local justice.
What do you remember from the war?
I remember that we lost. I remember that it's too foul for us to ever remember again. Terrible things. That's all I know.
Well, it seems you're operating with not enough information. It seems this whole city is.
Yeah. What?
So one might say the city is already in a state of anarchy.
Look, we're doing our best. Half of the city is ruined.
I'm not really here to debate philosophy with you. I don't really care. Who appointed you specifically?
The Deathless Triumvirate.
Did they? Did you meet with them? Did you meet with any of their agents?
Yes.
And you're going to give me their names? Because I'm asking very politely.
They don't have names.
Their agents don't have names.
No. They're a pristine guardsman ushers you into a vast chamber. 3 celestial creatures look down on you and says, "You will do this." And I don't know about you, but I don't disagree. Okay?
I have a private conversation with Lothario with, Celestial.
No. We would feel it. We would understand. We would know.
What do you think it is?
Something affecting that. Something pretending?
So we've got 3 pretenders. Interesting.
Look, I don't know why you're holding me here. I have to bring some semblance of order. The neighborhood is literally falling apart.
It was already falling apart.
And...
like I said, not here to change your minds, not here to debate. You're my guest for the foreseeable future.
You cannot hold me here.
Of course I can.
They will come looking for me. They will find you.
I hope that they do.
Look, yes, I benefit from my position. I benefit from being a Garant. But at the same time, I get to help people when I can. And, I figure that the angels that are sent to the Pinion Court, they deserve what they get.
You seem very certain.
Well,
but you're not an angel. So I have no idea why you would be even running the Pinion Court. That does not seem right. Does that seem right to you, Erax?
I don't think that seems right at all. And you just you see Arox like squeeze and begin pulling at the Garant's shoulder as if to dislocate it. Do you stop them?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and he just like he kind of winces and prepares for this, and then they stop, and then they move down to the hand and they break the pinky. What? You think I'm gonna follow orders? Ugh, fine. And they give him back his hands as he lets out a just yelp of pain, and he's just...
Oh, calm down. You'll be fine. What's your name?
Slav.
Slab.
Slavens.
I like Slav. Well, as I said before, you're my guest for the foreseeable future. Don't worry, we'll make you very comfortable in the basement. It's only mildly damp, but the hate cysts haven't found their way in just yet.
This is crazy. This is insane. Maybe. Whatever it is Probably. You're doing. What do you think you're going to accomplish?
Do you want to know a secret? The deathless triumvirate are not deathless.
And he just kind of looks aghast, like, you are insane. I have been detained by an insane person. He just starts looking for exits, looking for a way
You're not going to find a way out. Even if you do, you're wandering through the ruined expanse. Where are you going to go? And you make an awful lot of noise. And somehow I think something else out there will find you before you make your way back to the city proper.
He just lets out just kind of pathetic yelp.
But you're safe here.
And he looks at Arox.
Don't worry. We're not going to kill you.
Not yet.
As long as you behave yourself.
And
I don't think you have much information for me, but leverage is always a nice thing to have just in case I meet the right people. So, I'm gonna get him downstairs into the basement, which will be really fun to show people eventually when we get back to everything.
Amazing.
Pay no attention to the judge I have in my basement.
Help! Help!
Yep.
Okay, and I think at that point you just see Arox just kind of pushes him down, kind of like the basement, and they intentionally bump his head into like the first like kind of like where the ceiling dips, and just like, oops, mind your step, and you just hear a clatter as he is kind of ushered unceremoniously and dumped at the bottom of the room. At which point, Arox closes the door behind them, and looks at you and says, "So where have you been?"
All over the place, if you can believe it. Just got back from the Gold Sun.
Well, that's a heck of a hoof.
There's a lot more going on than we think. And it's not going to be the last time I'm going to have to leave the city.
Well, that's... Somebody's been looking for you.
Who?
Strange fella. Moves quietly. Some kind of suit. Calls himself the Mask.
Huh.
He's been doing runs for us, plucking things and giving supplies to the cells. He just found me, believe it or not.
Next time you run into him, he is allowed access to this place.
He isn't?
He is.
Okay. Well, he seemed like he was going away for a while to someplace. I don't know. Didn't say where, but I got the sense that he is looking for you specifically.
Then Knowing how any of this place works, we'll probably find each other soon enough.
Well, coincidence is like that.
So I've
How's my sister?
found. She seems fine. You fine?
And Athariel, I think there's just better now.
She says better now.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So you've been busy?
Yeah. Oh, what was it? You know, the thing about it is that it's fun kind of attacking places, bringing down this fucked order by yourself, but it's so much better when you involve company. And almost like, what was it? As if kind of like a speak of the devil moment, you just see kind of a Got knock on the door of the ruined expanse, flanked by several other Vizsla who look vaguely familiar to you.
In what way?
They kind of resemble, you realize as you kind of take a look at them, they resemble in manner and in dress, and by very kind of like clearly the demarcations of the symbols of the Path of Suns, they resemble Pathwalkers.
Oh shit.
And Agat looks at you and says, these are the twins. They mentioned that they wanted to be here to meet you, and I think you already know Yulia. And you realize that the third person that was in the jury box is Yulia, who you met at the Vancian campus.
Yeah.
And, you know, basically, Yulia will look at everybody assembled and say, "Oh my God!" And she moves forward and I think hugs you as if kind of you have no kind of like means of like anticipating this, but at the same time, like it's as though an old friend is hugging you, as if somebody who has not seen you in quite a long time. And Agat says, and these are the Eden twins. And both of them are looking at you as though they're trying to get like the, you kind of like the make and kind of like the understanding the shape of you. You know, they're trying to get an estimation. And both of them look kind of like they've been through some stuff. And they said, so wait, you are the daughter of the general?
Yes. Gavriel Kazan is my name.
And they left. The unknowable angel left the door open long enough for us to get out. And Yulia just looks and says, they told me about who you were.
It's only recently I've known what I am, too.
And I think at that point, kind of the Eden twins just move forward. And it's kind of, it's a young woman and a young man, fraternal twins. Both of them, you are unmistakably brother and sister, but very clearly twins as well. And, you know, they look at you and they kind of point to the halo in your chest. That's real.
Very real.
And we couldn't just sit by. We couldn't wait. We had to be here.
No, I'm glad you're here.
We've been able to move things together, and they kind of point to Yulia. But, you know, transport things, transport people, get things out of sticky situations. But it wasn't until the mask and the angel started helping us determine what to do. We've been hoping there's a plan, some sense of order we can kind of grasp here. What do we need to do?
The nature of all of this, I'm sure, seems haphazard and chaotic. And some of that is on purpose. But the real intention here is to take down the Vespertine.
Good. And I think you don't know whether or not they actually understand the grasp or grasp the severity of what the Vespertine are, but they're happy to have some sense of a purpose, a plan that they're moving towards. That you get. The other thing that Yulia says is, Monday is helping us as well, but I haven't seen him for some time.
I'm not sure I'll be here long enough to be able to check in on them.
Where are you going?
I don't know. There are things that we have been tasked to retrieve. I have one of them, but there are more. And it's important to take down this veil of deception that has been put over the city. I do not think there is another way to accomplish this.
We are at your disposal, whatever we can do. And as if Yulia thinks of something, she says, actually, and she kind of pulls out from underneath her shirt a pendant, and on it is just emblazoned a kind of a paneled door. And you realize that as she kind of splits it, it's one of two. And she breaks off one, and she finds a bare wall, points to it, and puts the door there. And you see as it expands, noiselessly, it kind of widens, expands, lengthens into a full door. And then she gives you the other half and says, if you need a way to get back to here in a hurry, use this. And you may write door pendant on your sheet for later.
Awesome.
And she says, it may not work in places that are shielded by powerful magic, but in any other circumstance, you will find your way to open that door and it'll lead back here.
Thank you. And now I must ask, I think she's mostly turning to both Yulia and Arox for this, and just for my own sanity, because I somehow my notes aren't pulling up. The building that the Deathless Triumvirate are in, you've told me the name once before.
I believe that is the Spire. That is kind of like...
The Spire, thank you.
That is, but however, you realize that Spire, where you originally were kind of meant to be given honors for destroying the hate cyst, at one, like, I think this is the point where you know to go and check out the kind of like the floating spire or the flying spire in the center of the Marcus Quarter. And this is where you would have found out that what exactly the spire really is.
I need you to help me understand how to break whatever is holding the spire.
Something like that would take very powerful magic.
It would. And hopefully, if I am successful in this, I will have pieces of powerful magic to help. But I need to understand more. The spire is not what it appears to be.
The mask was talking about building out our armory, giving us access to powerful tools. Maybe he would know more.
Good. Then if he is so intent on meeting me, eventually we will have access to all of that.
The sooner the better. Things are...
But in the meantime, we need information.
Okay.
Which is something that you can help me achieve.
What do you need to know?
Anything you can get your hands on. Anything that has to do with the Spire. Anything that would have to do with binding a god.
And at which point, Agat just says, I can maybe go some places they won't notice me.
That was exactly what I was hoping you would say, Agat.
Well,
You are going to need to be my eyes.
well, okay. I can do that. And I think all of them who have kind of grown attached to Agat, you realize that, the Eden twins, I think the sister kind of moves over and says, are you sure about that? And she kind of just shrugs her shoulders and says, there's no way I can be more effective, I think. I hope.
Oh my god, she's everyone's baby and she's older than some of us.
Yeah, she's very... But that's the thing is,
I love her.
There is this earnest sincerity
I know.
with everything she says, and...
I hope nothing horrible happens to her.
Couldn't be! But...
I don't trust you, Zach.
Well, don't give me such great, phenomenal weapons. Anyhow, I think there is this kind of like embrace and this kind of preparation for the days to come. And I think this is where we probably can leave our scene for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Got things set in motion.
the seed has been planted.
The seed has been planted.
I will say, basically, first off, for advancement circumstances, take 1 acumen. Did you complete any arcs or anything for your character?
Yes. I don't know if this really counts because it's kind of an arc that technically I established before we set time to do the scene. So I'm going to say like yes and no, unless you would like it to be a point that we established sort of retroactively, because communing with the multifaceted one is on my arcs.
I'm going to say you have taken your first step to this, so retroactively add a point of acumen for that. So you get 2, 1 for the scene, 1 for the arc, and then make sure that you mark the door pendant on your list of items.
Yes, yes.
That will essentially count as an ephemera item. I will write you a description later.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
So that said, guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching this, then that means that hopefully 2 weeks from today will be the first day that we debut the first episode of the new season. So hold on to your butts. But in the meantime, I think we can do some shout outs and plugs. So Marcy, shout outs and plugs.
Oh my goodness. Well, I got a shout out. The fact, oh god, but like I'm doing this in the future and the past at the same time. It's so difficult. What can I say? I'll break the time stream. I'll keep it simple. We've got a whole bunch of upcoming stuff that's happening on Manapod Studios. I know we've been on a bit of a hiatus, but we're hard at work behind the scenes getting you some more Streets of Gotham, which should hopefully be coming out later this year, if not the top of next year. Hooray! I'm gonna keep it like that because I have no idea. I don't want to break, but I'll break the time flow.
Well, what was it? I think you know what? I appreciate that as the timekeeper for the stream / producer / whatever I am. It's probably good that we do not break continuity. We'll see. Or maybe, hey, that could be the key.
I think we already have technically, and that's kind of awesome. I don't know. That feels very Invisible Sun.
Oh, absolutely. And then for my own part. I'm just going to shout out, I know for a fact that Angel Citadel is still doing really cool Cypher System actual plays, and you should check them out. And then on top of that, you know what? Check out Jeff Stormer. Go Birds.
Hell yeah.
There we go. Jeff Stormer, great Party of One podcast. And also Talkin' Nog, which may be relevant by the time this episode debuts.
Oh, God, yeah, it might.
But in the meantime, guys, you know, I know that at least when we're recording this, things are hectic and bad and scary. So
cause anarchy.
Yeah. So embrace anarchy. No. I think in the meantime, just take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Try to find opportunities for mutual aid and to be a bulwark for the people that need it. And in the meantime, may the invisible sun shine on you all. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.